So I always spend hours and hours looking on Pinterest for things to do, so I decided to actually take something I found and make it happen. So you need some clothespins and some letters, whatever words you're going to want to spell on your project. I picked all this up at Michael's. Um, this little 8x8 assorted craft paper because I wanted to use the zigzag pattern. Some brushes, some little wooden plaques. I got 6 of them, and they were in the clearance section, so they were only like $1.30 each. Some kind of adhesive for the letters, and then some Mod Podge. And yeah, I always look at these projects, but I thought it would be a good idea to actually make one happen. So I just took the zigzag pattern and cut out 3 little circles to fit on 3 of my little wooden plaques, because the purpose of this is to hang up the kids' artwork in the kitchen. I got tired of it being on the fridge. So as you can see, I just cut them to size, and I will Mod Podge them onto these little wooden blocks. So this project was really inexpensive, and it's so cute. I'll show you at the end what it ended up turning out like. My actual inspiration was on clipboards, but I didn't want something that big, and I really liked the idea of having the word art above, and we can hang up all their drawings, and Jackson goes to preschool, so I just thought it would be a really sweet idea. And since they were from the clearance section, they were a little banged up, but that's okay because, I didn't want it to look completely perfect. I will paint the clothespins all white. I could have left them the way it was, but I like the idea of painting them white. And then that's what the Gorilla Glue was, to adhere the letters and the clothespins to the project. So I'm going to hang it there on the wall in the kitchen and get rid of that calendar. I have another idea for there. So I just started out by painting the clothespins white. At first I was trying to be really detailed about it and not get the metal silver bit, but you know what, it didn't really make a difference in the end. Um, the one thing I would recommend that, you know, once it's dry enough to pinch it open and close just so your clothespin doesn't seal shut with the glue. And yeah, I had to do 2 or 3 coats on them and flip them around, but that was relatively easy. And like I said, I wasn't going for a complete perfect look, so they're not 100%, but they're a little rustic looking, and I kind of like that. Then I took the Mod Podge and I put a little bit in a bowl here so that I could work with it, and just one of the foam brushes is what I used to apply it. So as you see here, I put a little bit onto the back of the cardstock and a little bit onto the block itself, and it adhered really well. I've had no problems with it. Sometimes with Mod Podge, if you're not careful to get all the air bubbles out, I find it lifts up, but it worked really well. I just made sure that there was no air bubbles once I had laid it down on the wooden block. I was really unsure about the Gorilla Glue. I've never used the product before, and it said to slightly dampen the surface before applying it, so that's what I did. Sorry, you can't see it here. You'll be able to see a little bit better with some of the other letters. But I just put a thin layer on, and used my handy dandy playing card to measure where I wanted to put them. I'm not a perfect crafter, and I didn't feel like pulling out my ruler and measuring and all those types of things. And everything ended up straight, and I was quite happy with it. Anyways, so yeah, I believe sometimes there's a place for perfection, but this project, I just wanted something to do on a Friday night, and I didn't want to haul a bunch of stuff out. So this is how I did it, and I just made it work. So the Gorilla Glue worked really good as a adhesive. As you can see there, that was a little sponge that I had used to kind of dampen the back of it, and then just applied the Gorilla Glue. But now everything's pretty much done. I've got the letters on, and I did clamp them to hold them secure for the night. The clothespins were painted white, and the boards had their paper on them, and they had been Mod Podged on top, so I was going to let it dry, and here's our finished product. I picked up the kitchen sign at Kohl's and then the little calendar at Myers, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Bye-bye.